All right, so for today I'm gonna show you how to install a 6-inch bass tube that I put in a couple of months ago, and I didn't want to do a video right away. I wanted to test it first and see how it was because it's a cheapie. It's a Rockville. I got it on eBay. I think it was $60 to $80 range. I wasn't expecting much, but I've been really impressed with it, and it was easy to install. It works great. If you're looking to rattle your neighbor's windows when you go down the street, this isn't the subwoofer that you want to put in. But if you just want to feel the kick drum and that have some bottom end to the crappy stock sound system that comes in these Jeeps, this is perfect. And it's small, like I said, it's a 6-inch, so it doesn't take up a ton of space. I put mine behind the passenger seat because I took my back seat out and have a cargo area back there, so it fits in perfect. So I'll show you a couple of things that you need and a couple of tricks to get it in pretty easy. All right. Okay, so here it is. It's just a Rockville bass tube, real cheap, 300 watt, 6-inch. I can't really get the faceplate on it, but anyway, I made the aluminum cradle basically just to hold it in place. The bass tube comes with these straps. The cool thing about bass tubes as opposed to subwoofers is they don't have to be mounted in a certain way. You can pretty much throw them anywhere in the vehicle and they're going to be okay. As long as they're not rolling around, you're in good shape. So you don't have to go as elaborate as I did. You can literally strap these to the seat frame or however you want to do it in the back, to the roll bar or something like that. They are better if you were able to get them in a corner or crammed into an area where there's solid metal all around them. They will perform a little bit better, but it's not detrimental. So okay, let me show you what you need now. One thing you're going to need, I found this on Amazon, trim removal tool. Basically you're going to take off your this panel along the rockers, and you're going to have to do behind the passenger seat where the roll bar is. There's a panel that comes right off. You basically just pull these little jammies out of here and it comes right off. That's where your speaker wire is that you're going to hook up to, right behind the seatbelt. So these I found on Amazon. These are great. They make this job a lot easier. So basically you find the wire that you want to splice into and you crimp that. See that little blade? You clamp that onto your wire and use your Lyman pliers or wire strippers to really clamp it tight. And then once that clamps onto the wire, it just cuts into it and makes contact with it. So then you put one of these into the end and makes your connection. So then you can run your wires off the factory speaker wires over to the bass tube. So then you just need some speaker wire. I got this, I think this is at Home Depot. Cheap enough. It doesn't have to be super thick. It's just basically bringing signal into the bass tube. So what is this? 18 gauge, which is plenty. So you basically need just a couple of things to make this work. You need power direct from the battery, a good ground, and you need signal from the speaker wires, which we'll cover in a minute. And then you also need from the fuse box, you need something that, a wire that connects to something that only turns on when the ignition is on or the accessories are on. And so basically you have to find a fuse and then you have to jump off of that. And that basically sends a signal to the bass tube. So the bass tube constantly has power, but it'll only turn on when that circuit sends signal up that wire and then tells it to turn on. And then when that turns off, it tells it to turn off so that it's not constantly using battery power. So let me show you a couple of tricks you can do to do that. Okay, so first for power. So you can see I have a kind of an octopus growing out of my battery. One of these days I'll neaten it up. But anyway, so this is the wire for the bass tube. You want to get you some probably 10 gauge wire, I would say minimum, because you really want it to have all the power it needs. So I run that up into this plastic hose, and then it goes through here, and then so it'll go up into the cowling. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, you can't really see it, but I'll show you what you do. So if you remove this panel on the side, which comes off very easily. You can see that hole right there. And then there's some spray and foam insulation. You basically just either drill through it or poke through it. I used my old antenna because I got a replacement antenna. It worked great. And then you can just snake the wires right through. So I have power. I have a CB radio also that's powered directly off the battery. That comes in. So I got a bunch of things coming in here. So it keeps it nice and neat. So then from there you just run it down. And then you can run it through your rocker panels and then over to wherever you're putting the bass tube. And your ground is under here. Can't really see it, it's dark, but there's some factory ground points there that you want to bolt to. Keep it all nice and neat. Okay, so now for the fuse box. If you go all the way to the back of the fuse box, you got a 20, a 10, and then a 20, and then there's a blank. So this first 20, right there, that is for the fuse for the power port, the power outlet that's in the dashboard. So basically you can see there's a little wire coming out. All I did was press it in, strip it, press it in there, and then push the fuse in, and then it holds it down. And then the wire runs all the way out, drill the tiny little hole, and then it goes with the power wire out through that place I just showed you. So that's going to be what turns on and off the bass tube. So that was the best fuse I could find for it. And what this does is basically avoids you getting power from your power port and then having an adapter and a bunch of wires going through your interior. It just keeps it nice and neat, and it works great. So once you get all your wires run to the cab, you want to take this panel off, which covers the roll bar. All the wires for the speaker run up through that. So basically I took this plastic off, which wasn't terrible. I'm not going to do it now because I really don't want to get into it, but it's just a couple of little plastic rivets that you pull out with the trim removal tool, and then it pops right off. So then once you do that, what I did was I went on, I Googled Jeep JK speaker wiring diagram, and literally it comes up like everything you need to know, and it tells you what colors are what. So all you do is use those connectors that I showed you at the beginning, splice in, and then run your speaker wire down to the faceplate of the thing, and then the high input, the high input jacks on the front of the thing, which I can't really show you because it's all mounted right now, but it's all self-explanatory when you see the faceplate of the thing. You just hook it all up, and you want to do both sides, so right and left, and then I'm going to show you what you want to do before you put this back together and tape everything up. There's one thing you want to do. After you get everything wired and you're ready to go, you want to test it. Before you put everything back together, turn your radio on. Mine's got a pair with my phone. Give it a second. Play a song, and then what you want to do is go in to your balance and go pan left and right, and make sure that the bass tube is firing hard right and hard left. That way you know you got signal from both speakers. Once you got that, then it's just adjust the taste. Let me see if I can, I'll see if I can get a close-up of that faceplate. Okay, so you'll see there's a couple of switches on there where it says control, it says full and bass. You put it on bass. You don't want full range because then you got mid and treble coming through the bass tube. It sounds like ass. Then you'll see the little LPF, and there's a tiny little set knob in there. That's your frequency cutoff. So if you turn it all the way to the left, it's only going to let under 40 hertz go through the bass tube, and basically it'll be doing hardly anything because it's only getting the really sub frequencies. And then if you turn away all the way to the right, you're getting into 250 hertz. So it's letting everything under 250 hertz go through. 250 hertz is a really muddy area. I keep mine set at around 120. I don't want anything higher than that going through because Believe me, I do sound professionally, and I'm a musician, and you EQ out a lot of around 250 or up in those frequencies. They just get really muddy. So get rid of that. But anyway, so that's basically it. So there's your ground, 12 volt, and remote. Remote is that black wire that goes to the fuse box. And then underneath is the high level inputs. It's got a wiring harness. You just hook up to that. All right, so we're going to do a demo. So here's, let me see whatever's on the radio. Okay, so this is front speakers, no bass tube at all. All right, now let's bring the bass tube in. All right, so I hope that comes through on the camera, but it's a huge difference in this little Jeep, man. That absolutely cranks. All right, so that's it. I hope that helped. I'm going to put a link in the description for the bass tube. Everything else, like the connectors and the trim removal tool, just go into Amazon and search, and 10,000 options come up. It's real simple. So any questions or anything, leave them in the comments, and I'll try and help you out best I can. Anyway, highly recommend it. Really cheap. But I've had it in, I think, when did I put this in? It's been a good 6 months since I've had it, and I never blow it. I've never blown it up. When you put the top down and the stock system is giving you 0 low end, that thing is great. I might boost it a little bit when the top is down, and it helps out. So anyway, I hope that helped. So enjoy. Thanks for watching.